Hello everyone, this is Hating Tian. In this video, we are learning college algebra review. First, let's expand or multiply polynomials. What is a polynomials? So in the expression, we have many terms. For example, if I have one term, x, or I have x squared plus 2, or 3x squared plus 3x minus 4. So all of these, they are polynomials. So this is one-term polynomial, monomial. Two-term polynomial, we say binomial. And three terms, we call it trinomial. Then we have more terms, we say these are polynomials. And the multiplication between these polynomials, so first we will use distributive property to do the multiplication. And then second step, let's combine like terms. For example, in college algebra, we have learned if we have the multiplication between two binomials, a plus b times a minus b. Then we use a multiply two terms in second parentheses. Then use the b, multiply two terms in second parentheses. So the first two paths, let's do the multiplication. A times a squared. Then a times b, negative b, is minus ab, because a times negative b is negative ab. Then the paths here, b times a. They are both positive with plus AB, or you say BA. And then last path is B times negative B, so minus B squared. Then next step, let's combine like terms. Oh, I see, minus AB plus AB, that's 0. So combine them together, we have A squared minus B squared. Okay, let's, we call this conjugate formula. If I have a squared minus b squared, it is a plus b times a minus b. Okay. So it is a plus b times a minus b. We call this conjugate formula. All right, let's do the first example. Expand the multiplication between two binomials. So we distribute the 3 in the second parentheses. We have 3x times x, 3x squared, 3x times 2x, plus 6x. Then distribute negative 1 in the second parentheses. So minus x, then minus 2. Combine like terms. These two, they are like terms. We have 3x squared plus 5x minus 2, because plus 6 minus x is plus 5x. Okay, let's see next example. Next example, x minus 5 squared. This is a perfect square. So let's put the formula here. What is the formula of the perfect square? Okay, it is a plus b squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And another formula is a minus b squared is equal to a squared. Here is minus 2ab plus b squared. Now, if I'm using the formula, so we say first term is my a, second term is my b, and this is a minus b, second formula. So we are having a squared, which is x squared, minus 2ab minus 2 times x times b is 5. Then last term is plus b squared. B squared is 5 squared. So we have x squared minus 10x, because 2 times 5, 10, plus 25. And some of you say, I forgot my perfect square trinomial. So what should I do? So way 2. So we say squared means x minus 5 times itself. Then we can distribute the x in the parentheses, second parentheses, then distribute my negative 5 in second parentheses. We're having x squared minus 5x minus 5x, and then last we have negative 5 times negative 5, which is positive 25 plus 25. Then we have x squared minus 10x plus 25. We have the same solution here and here. So you can choose either way, and you have the same solution. Okay, let's see next example. Why I highlight this? Okay, so next one, we have more steps, because this is multiplication between binomial and trinomial, but we follow the same thing. So we distribute 2x in second parentheses. We have 3 passes. 2x times 3x squared. 2 times 3, 6. X times x squared. What is the x times x squared? So they have the same base x. So we add the power together, which is x cubed. This is the first method. We can do the multiplication. And the second method is, okay, second factor x squared, it is x times x. We can break this down into x times x. So we have x cubed. You can use either way to get x cubed. Let me use eraser. Okay, let's move on. 6x cubed. Then my second pass is 2x times negative 6x minus 12x squared. And then 2x times 9 is plus 18x. So here, sometimes we make a mistake. Be very careful to check all of these power. I need to save some spot because I don't have too much space. Okay, 3 times 3x plus, 3 times 3x squared is 9x squared. Then 3 times negative 6x is minus 18x. Then 3 times 9 is plus 27. Let's save some space. All right, combine like terms. 6x cubed is alone. X squared. So it is minus 3x squared. And then 18x plus 18x minus 18x, 0. Then plus 27. So this is a solution. Next one, let's do the multiplication. This question is not difficult. So we can distribute negative 3y squared in the second parentheses. Then distribute 2 in the second parentheses. We're having negative 3 times negative 5, positive 15. Y squared times y squared, y to the fourth, because y squared times y squared. Same base, add the power, x to the fourth. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, then continue. Let's do the multiplication. So negative 3y squared times negative 6 is plus 18y squared. Then distribute the 2 in the second parentheses. So minus 10y squared. Then minus 12. So let's combine like terms. These two, they are like terms. 15y to the fourth. Then plus 8y squared minus 12. So this is the solution. So if we have, what is the thing I need to remind you? Because sometimes we are not only having the variable x, so we have variable y. When you put the answer in your homework, Open Math, be careful you select the right variable. Do not put x here because the variable here is y. All right, let's see next example. Our next part is factoring polynomial. So previous part, we are doing the distribution. Now we are doing the backward way. If we have the polynomial, then we convert it to the factor form. So something multiplied by something. So this is the first factor. This is the second factor. Okay, let's see. If the type 1 trinomial type, we have x squared plus bx plus c. Leading term is x squared. We don't have 3x squared. We don't have negative 7x squared. We have only x squared. Now we're using AM method. Sometimes you can also use different method like a crisscross method. So what is the AM method? Let's review it. So we say in the middle term, the coefficient we call A. Let's use capitalize A, represent the 8, not the 8x. And then use M, so put the M on top of the last term, which is a constant term. So A represent the add. M means multiplication. So addition, multiplication. Multiplication, let's pull out the last term 12. Find two factors. Multiplication make a 12, addition make an 8. So I can choose 2 times 6, addition is 8. Yes, so I got the right one. And then we can fill out the blanks. So the factor form is x blanks, x multiplied by x blanks. So multiplication is 12, addition is 8. So fill out blanks. Plus 2, plus 6. If we have negative, we fill out negative 2, negative 8. All right, some of you are using crisscross method. Crisscross method, we say, 2. So find the factor of leading coefficient. Leading coefficient is 1. So factor of 1 is 1 times 1. We do that vertically. And then find the factor of last term, which is 12. So let's see. The factor of 12, I can have 3, 4. We do the cross multiplication. 1 times 4, 4. 1 times 3 is 3. Add them together, I got 7. It is not 8. So we cannot use 3 and 4 as the factor of 12. So find other factors. So we say 2 and 6. Then we do the cross multiplication. 1 times 6, 1 times 2. We got 2. Addition is 8. Yes. So we found the correct factors. And write the expression horizontally. So 1 represent 1x. So 1x plus 2. Then multiply by 1x, the second line, plus 6. We got the same solution. All right, let's see next example. If I'm using AM method, we can put A on top of 7, M on top of 12. So 12 has two factors, actually has more factors. And let's find two factors. Multiplication make a 12, addition make a 7. So what are they? 3 and 4. Multiplication 12, addition 7. So fill out the blanks. X plus 3, then x plus 4. So we factored this polynomial. And you can also use crisscross. 1, 1, 3, 4. So these are the factors of leading coefficient 1. Let's make it clear. And then 3 times 4 make a 12. So next we do the crisscross multiplication. 1 times 4, 4. 1 times 3, 3. Addition make a 7. Yes. So write them horizontally. X plus 3 times x plus 4. So we have the same solution. You don't have to use so many methods to solve one question. So you must understand one question and then master this method. Okay, let's see next 2 examples, maybe 3 examples. So this one, how to use AM method. So we put A on top of negative 7, M on top of 10. Find two factors. Addition make a negative 7. So 10 has factor like 2 and 5, 2 times 5. But addition make a negative 7. So both of them negative. Negative 2, negative 5. Multiplication is positive 10. Addition is negative 7. Then fill out the blanks. X. We have minus 2 times x minus 5. It doesn't matter. If you switch the position, you have negative 5 times negative 2. So you can say x minus 5 times x minus 2. They are equivalent. They are the same thing. So, okay, let's see next part. I think a lot of you are having a very good foundation. You understand this part really well. So let's see, using AM method, you can also use the crisscross method. M is 63. Every time pull out the M. And then find two factors. Addition make a negative 16. Both of them must be negative. So what can make a 63? 7, 9. Or negative 7, negative 9. And addition, yes, addition of them can make a negative 16. So fill out blanks. X minus 7 times x minus 9. Okay, so let's try next one. Next one, here's a hint. So this one I can also use AM method. But some of you will question me. The leading coefficient is 2, it is not 1. How you can use AM method? Because all of the three terms, 2, 26, 60, they are all even number. Even number means they all have the common factor 2. So we can factor out the 2 first. So factor out 2, that means first term divided by 2, left over is x. Second term, 26x divided by 2 is 13x. 60 divided by 2, left over is 30. Then in the parentheses, what do we have? Yes, three terms, trinomials, I can use AM method. So A is 13, M is 30. 30, find two factors, 10 and 3. Multiplication is 30, addition is 13. So x plus 10 times x plus 3. Okay, let's move on to see next type. Next type is the trinomial. Has the leading term ax squared. It is not just x squared. So leading term coefficient is not 1. It is a. A is not 1. So this one we can use AC method. What is the AC method? I don't have a lot of space. So let's pull out this one as the example. This one. So we have 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. So leading coefficient is 2. Then let's use AC method. So AC method, we say ax squared plus bx plus c. So a is my 2, b is 7, c is 6. AC method, find the multiplication between a and c. A times c is 2 times 6, which is 12. Find two factors. Addition make a 7, make a b. So 12 equals 3 times 4. Addition make a 7. Second step of my AC method is break down the middle term. So keep the first and last term. At 2x squared plus 7x equals 3x plus 4x. Okay, sorry. 3x plus 4x. It doesn't matter if you change the order, 4x plus 3x. Then we can group factoring. First two, last two. First two term, we can factor out the x. Left over is 2x plus 3. Last two term, factor out 2. Then left over is 2x plus 3. Both of them, they have the GCF, which is 2x plus 3. Let's factor out the 2x plus 3. Then left over is x plus 2. Then we are done. So we use the AC method to factor this type of trinomial. Okay, let's see. the example 1 and 2. So for example, if some of you want to read all of these notes, you can find them from D2L or from online platform. Okay, let's see first example, how to use AC method. A is 2, C is 12. A times C is 2 times, C is 2. 2 times 2, which is 4. Find two factors. Addition make a 5. 1 times 4 can make a 4. 1 plus 4 can make a 5. Yes. So second step is separate 5x into x plus 4x. And then we do the group factoring. First 2, last 2. From first 2 terms, we can factor out the x. We have left over 2x plus 1. Last 2 terms, we can factor out 2. Left over is 2x plus 1. Then factor out the GCF, 2x plus 1. Left over x plus 2. Okay, some of you say, can I use crisscross method? Yes, of course. The crisscross method, we list the factor of 2. So here, okay. Let's use this color, way 2. So factor out 2, 2 equals 1 times 2, that's all. You cannot say 2 times 2 or some others. You can also say 2 times 1. And then find the factor of the last term, which is the constant term. So also 1 times 2, do the crisscross multiplication. 1 times 2, 2. 2 times 1, 2. Addition is 4. It is not 5. So switch the position of these two. So 2, 1. So 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 2, 4. Yes, addition is 5. Now, write the factor form horizontally. So x plus 2 times 2x plus 1. All right, let's move on. So they have the same solution. So this one is 4t squared plus 11t plus 6. If I'm using AC method, A is 4, C is 6. A times C is 4 times 6, 24. Find two factors. Addition make an 11. What are they? So I know that 3 times 8 is 24. 3 plus 8, 11. Yes. So we can break down the 11t into 3t plus 8t. So 4t squared plus 3t plus 8t plus 6. Okay, it's not a good 6. All right, so first 2, last 2, factor out t. Left over is 4t plus 3. Last 2 term, factor out 8, 6. GCF is 2. So 4t plus 3. Then factor out the parentheses, 4t plus 3. Left over t plus 2. Then we have the factor form. You can also use the crisscross method. Okay, let's see part 3. Simplify the rational expression. So before we jump into this part, let me ask you this. Okay, if I have 2 over 4, so this is a fraction. How to simplify this fraction? We say, if we enlarge the top and bottom at the same time, we have the same ratio. We can also shrink top and bottom. At the same time, we have the same ratio. So 2 and 4, they are all divisible by 2. Divide by 2, divided by 2. Shrink top and bottom. We have 1 on the top. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So solution is 1/2. Okay, I can shrink top and bottom. How about this? 3 times x plus 5, all divided by, let's say 4, times x plus 5. Can you shrink top and bottom? Yes, of course. Top and bottom, they are all having x plus 5. So we can divide it by x plus 5 on the top, divided by x plus 5 at the bottom. Or you say top and bottom, they have the same factor. So this factor is x plus 5, x plus 5. We can do the cancellation. So we have 3 over 4. So if the top and bottom have the same factor, we can do the cancellation. We can shrink top and bottom. Let's see the first example. Oh, top and bottom. It's hard to say that they have the common factor. What should I do? First step, factor out the both denominator and numerator. Denominator means bottom. Numerator is the top of the fraction. So factor top and bottom. Second, do the cancellation, top and bottom. Okay, let's see how to factor the first example. On the top, 3x plus 12. They all have the common factor 3. So factor out 3 from 3x. Left over is x. Then plus 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, the bottom, 4x plus 16. GCF is 4. Left over is x plus 4. Some of you say, easy. 3 over 4, 3/4. And then let's also think about this. If I have something on the top, denominator, bottom is 0. We say this form is undefined because the bottom never be 0. And my solution here, yes, we don't have a 0. But when I was solving this question, yes, I have a denominator. So we must say bottom, everything at the bottom. 4 times x plus 4 is not equal to 0. If it is 0, it's undefined. So 4 times what is equal to 0? 4 times 0. So this part, x plus 4, cannot be 0. So 4 times non-zero thing is not equal to 0. You can also think about this way. So if the multiplication between several factors is not equal to 0, so each factor, they are not 0. So we have factor 1 is 4. 4 is not equal to 0. Yes, absolutely, it is not 0. That means my second factor, x plus 4, is not 0. We can solve this like we're solving equations. Minus 4 both sides. X is not equal to negative 4. So this is a restriction. This is not solution. Solution is here. This is a restriction. Okay, if the question didn't ask you restriction, you can ignore it. But if the question asks you, what is the restriction? You say x is not equal to negative 4. Okay, let's see next example. It's a little bit messy. Let's factor the top and the bottom. We have 2 terms. Let's see what is the GCF from these 2 terms. 7/35. Yes, GCF is 7. X squared, x. I can factor out the x. Left over is x minus 5. Denominator, 5x minus 25. GCF is 5. So we have x minus 5. And before we move on to do the simplification, we say, let's say bottom, 5 times x minus 5 is not equal to 0. 5 is not 0, x minus 5 is not 0, x is not equal to positive 5 because we add 5 both sides. And this is the restriction. Let's see. Do the cancellation. We have 7x divided by 5 is our solution. Okay, let's see number 3, example 3. Let's factor the top and the bottom. We have 3 terms on the top, and we can use AM method. So let's see, we only have this color. So can I make this one? So we say x squared, the first leading term. So we can use AM method. M is 6. Find 2 factors. Addition make a negative 5. Negative 2, negative 3, multiplication negative 6. Addition negative 5. So we have x minus 2 times x minus 3. And what is the bottom? Bottom is, we still can use AM method. M is 12. let's find the factor of 12. -3, -4. Addition make -7. So x minus 3 times x minus 4. Let's do the cancellation. Top and bottom. X minus 2 over x minus 4. So before we move on, I forgot to check my restriction. Restriction says, restriction says all of the bottom is not equal to 0. So we list all of my bottom, which is x minus 3 times x minus 4 is not equal to 0. So x minus 3 is not 0. X minus 4 is not equal to 0. X is not 3. X is not 4. So these two, they are restrictions. This is a solution. Okay, let's see next example. A difficult one. Multiplication between two rational expression. So what should I do? Let me ask you this. If I have, for example, x minus 2, make up 1, and 3, multiply by 6, x minus 2. So any top, any bottom can be cancelled. It doesn't matter is on this top and bottom, on this top and bottom. So you can simplify this and this, any top, any bottom. So on the top, x minus 2 divided by x minus 2 is 1, and 6 over 3 is 2, or you say 2 over 1, which is 2. So any top, any bottom, they can be cancelled. Okay, that means we can factor all of the top and bottom and then do the cancellation. Okay, so let's see the first top. X squared minus 9, what is this? So how to factor x squared minus 9? What is the 9? Do you think the 9 is 3 squared? Yes, it is. A squared minus b squared, conjugate formula. X plus 3 times x minus 3. So my first top is x plus 3 times x minus 3. Okay, let's save some space. Okay, what is the bottom? My bottom, we have two terms. I can factor out the 3. So left over is x plus 3. Let's do the simplification later. Next, let's see my second top. I can factor out the 2 from two terms. We have x plus 5. And the bottom we have 3 terms. Let's do the AM method because leading term is x squared. M is -15. Find 2 factors. Addition make a 2. So 1 positive, 1 negative. Multiplication is -15. I can say 5 and 3 or 3 and 5. So addition is positive 2. 3 is negative. Addition make a positive 2. So we fill out the blanks. X plus 5 times x minus 3. Okay, so before we move on, we can say we can find the restriction because we have a lot of bottoms. All of the bottom, they are not 0. 3 times x plus 3 is not 0. X plus 5 times x minus 3 is not 0. So we say x plus 3 is not 0. X is not equal to -3. And x plus 5 is not equal to 0. X minus 3 is not equal to 0. X is not equal to -5. X is not equal to 3. Okay, so I got 3 restrictions. What is the solution of the question? So we do the cancellation top and bottom. This top, this bottom, this top. This top, this bottom. They are the same factor. So top and bottom. Solution is 2/3. Okay, let's see. Part 4. Solve the quadratic equations. So how to solve the quadratic equations? Okay, we are using the zero product property. What is the zero product property? If I have this x plus 3 times x minus 5 is equal to 0, So this is multiplication. 0 times something is 0. Or some number, something, multiplied by 0 is 0. So my first factor, x plus 3, is equal to 0. Or x minus 5 is equal to 0. So we can solve for the x. Minus 3 both sides, x is equal to negative 3. Plus 5 both sides, x is equal to 5. We solved this equation. We call this zero product property. So do the multiplication between several factors. Each factor may be 0. So you say first factor is equal to 0, second is 0, or third or fourth, they are 0. Okay, let's see the first example. So how to use zero product property to solve the x from the first example. Zero product property, you remember? One side of the equation must be 0. You cannot have something else. And this question is something else. That means we need to I need to move the 10 away. So let's minus 10 both sides. We have x squared minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. Next step, we need to factor it. So this one, I can use AM method. A is negative 3, M is negative 10. Negative 10 has two factors. Addition make a negative 3. They are, let's say, 5 and 2. 5 is negative. Addition make a negative 3. And then we fill out the blanks. X minus 5 times x plus 2 is equal to 0. First factor is equal to 0. Second factor is equal to 0. Solve for the x. X is equal to 5. X is equal to negative 2. Okay, let's see next example. We need to factor the trinomial and then find each factor is equal to 0. So this one you can use AM method because leading coefficient is not 1, it is 2. So you can use AC method. You can also use crisscross method. So if I'm using crisscross method, so we say find the factor of 2, 1 times 2. Find factor of the last term, 2. 2 times 1 or 1 times 2, do the crisscross multiplication. If these two couple, they are not working, we can switch the position 1, 2. So let's try. 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Addition make a 5. Yes, do that. Find the multiplication horizontally. So x plus 2 times 2x plus 1. Is equal to 0. X plus 2 is 0. 2x plus 1 is 0. X is equal to negative 2. X is equal to negative 1/2. We got two solutions. And so some notations say you can list your solution in the set notation. So you can put the negative 2 and negative 1/2. Inside of the braces. Okay, some of you are using AC method. Use AC method. Okay, let's see. Solve by factoring or square root property. Here it says two terms. If my expression has two terms, maybe we can use factoring or square root property to solve the variable. So factor out the GCF. So let's see. First one, factor out the GCF. First term, second term, they have the GCF x. We have x plus 6 left in the parentheses. Now I have two factors, factor 1, factor 2. So we can set each factor is equal to 0. X is equal to 0. X plus 6 is equal to 0. So we solved the x is 0. X is equal to negative 6. We got two solutions, 0, negative 6. Next example, let's factor out the the GCF, negative x squared minus negative 4x. What is the GCF? So we say negative x squared is negative x times x minus 4 times x. So they all have the x term. But we prefer to factor out the negative term. So negative and x. So we can factor out negative x. We have x plus 4 because we already factored out the negative x. We have a positive 4 left. Some of you say, teacher, can I factor out the x because I feel that x is my GCF? Yes, you can. You also can do this. So you can also factor out the x. Left over is negative x minus 4. Then you got the same solution. Don't worry. So if I'm following this method and negative x is equal to 0 or x plus 4 is equal to 0, so x is equal to 0 because you can divide it by negative 1 both sides. 0 over negative 1, 0. Minus 4 both sides. X is equal to negative 4. We got two solutions. But if you have the second method, this method, you factor out the x. Then you have x is equal to 0 or negative x minus 4 is equal to 0. This one has been solved. Then we solve the second equation. Plus 4 both sides. Negative x is positive 4 is equal to positive 4 divided by negative 1. X is equal to negative 4. So we got the same solution. It doesn't matter which method you are using, but we prefer to, if the first term is negative, we prefer to factor out negative term. Okay, let's see next two examples. So these two examples, 0, example 3, 0 is not on one side. Let's move the 36 to another side. Minus 36, minus 36. We have y squared minus 36 is equal to 0. How to factor it? So I cannot factor out the GCF from these two terms because second term doesn't have y, but we have learned a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b. Oh, 36 is 6 squared. That means we can rewrite my 36. 6 squared is equal to 0. So we have a plus b, y plus 6 times y minus 6 is equal to 0. So y plus 6 is 0, y minus 6 is 0. Y is equal to negative 6, y is equal to positive 6. We have two solutions. But some of you say, teacher, I can use another method, way 2, because we learned this from college algebra. If we have the y squared equals 36, I'm solving for the y. We cannot have my squared here. How to get rid of the squared? Square root. Yes, we can take the square root to both sides. Square root of y squared is equal to square root of 36. What is the missing? Plus or minus sign. If you square root a variable, x, y, z, any variable, you must have two solutions, positive or negative. So don't forget the plus or minus sign. So y is rescued. Now we have the isolated y is equal to plus or minus 6 because square root of 36 is 6. So two solutions, they are positive or negative 6. This is way 2. Okay, let's see next example. Next example, can I use conjugate formula to factor it? No, because I didn't see a squared minus b squared. Now, what should I do? So we need to isolate my x. And then take the square root of both sides. Isolate the x. First, we minus 7 both sides. We have 2x squared is equal to negative 7. Divided by 2, x squared is equal to negative 7 over 2. Then take the square root of both sides. Don't forget our plus or minus sign. Square root of negative 7 over 2. Don't forget this. Now we have x isolated. But one thing is very interesting. because we have negative sign here. Oh, interesting. We have negative sign here. What should I do? This is not a real number. So we can separate my positive 7 over 2 and my negative 1 in the square root. In the square root, if it is multiplication, I can separate the two factors. Let's do this. X is equal to plus or minus square root of 7 over 2 times square root of negative 1. We separate the two factors. And this part is I number. So x is equal to plus or minus square root of 7 over 2i. We replace the square root of negative 1 with I. Now my solution. So I give you full credit if you get this solution. But some of the math people, we are picky. We prefer to rationalize my solution. My denominator cannot have a square root. Now we can separate my 7 and 2, top and bottom. Square root of 7 over square root of 2i. We have the denominator square root of 2. We need to multiply the square root of 2 top and bottom. So, can I change the color? Yes. So, we are multiplying the denominator square root of 2. Don't forget we have the I. Then we have top is square root of 7 times 2, 14. Denominator is 2 because square root of 2 times square root of 2 is square root of 2 squared. Square root square cancelled. The bottom is 2. And don't forget we have an I. This is a solution. Okay, the solution is not a simple number. Okay, let's see. Quadratic formula. So if my expression so I have a trinomial is equal to 0. I cannot factor it. For example, I cannot factor it. So I cannot use my zero product property. What should I do? Let's use quadratic formula. So the expression is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Then the x is equal to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by a. You need to identify what is the a, b, and c and plug it into the formula. So a in this expression is 2, b is 4, c is 1. So it's optional. You can list the a, b, c. A is 2, b is 4, C is 1. You don't have to list them here, but you have to know what is A, B, C. So the formula is x is equal to, on the top is negative b, so negative 4, plus or minus square root of b squared, 4 squared. If A, B, C, they are negative number, please bring your parentheses. So minus 4ac minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, all divided by 2a, 2 times 2. So x is equal to negative 4 plus or minus square root of 16 minus 8, all divided by 4. Let's do the simplification. Negative 4 plus or minus square root of 8 over 4. And be careful, what is the square root of 8? Can I do the simplification? Yes, because 8 is equal to what? 4 times 2. So we can separate the factor from the square root. Square root of 4, square root of 2. What is the square root of 4? 2. So square root of 8 is 2 root 2. So let's rewrite my square root of 8, which is 2 root 2 over 4. Top and bottom, they are all divisible by 2. We have negative 2 plus or minus square root 2 over 4. Be very careful here. If top and bottom, they are all divisible by 2, so you should use the first term divide by 2. Second term, divide by 2. And the bottom terms, divide by 2. Oh, I made a mistake. Luckily, I found my mistake. The bottom, 4 divided by 2, it is 2. So this is our solution. Okay, let's see next example. Let's use quadratic formula to rescue my x. So ABC, A is 15, B is 2, C is -1. Sometimes the question is tricky. They reorder the question. They say 2x plus 15x minus 1 is equal to, 15x squared minus 1. Now I cannot say A is 2. A is still 15. We need to convert it to the ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay, I'm a little bit tedious. Okay, let's plug the ABC into the formula. On the top, we have -b, -2, plus or minus square root of b squared, 2 squared minus 4ac, 4 times 15 times -1. Okay, please bring your parentheses with you. I'll divide by 2a, 2 times 15. Then we simplify the expression. -2 plus or minus square root of 4 plus, do the multiplication, 60 divided by 30. X is equal to -2 plus or minus square root of 64 over 30. What is the square root of 64? 8. So we have -2 plus or minus 8 over 30. So we got two solutions. First solution is -2 plus 8 over 30. On the top, we have 6 over 30, which is 1/5. Second one is -2 minus 8 over 30. So on the top, we have -10 over 30. -10 over 30 is -1/3. So do the simplification. So we got two solutions. All right, this is the question from 1.1. If you have any question, please email me. Okay, see you next video. Bye-bye.